Hola, oh, hi, hello, and welcome to another episode of the.
Latin voices.
Welcome, everyone, and happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and happy and blessed Friday for those who are already on Friday. So today's topic is.
Okay, so today we're going to talk to you about bill for parents, caregivers, and full time workers.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing here in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, now residing in North Carolina with my family. I am a digital business owner and a mentor.
Yes. So, let's find out what is our topic for today. So, let's dive in directly into our topic.
Okay, so our topic today is build for parents, for caregivers, and full time workers.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking today. So, welcome back again to another episode of the Latin Voices, and happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday. So, today's message is for a very specific group of people, but we know many of you will relate to it. So, that is parents, caregivers, and full time workers. So people, who are constantly giving their time, their energy, and attention to others, and often feel like there's nothing left for themselves. I think pretty much we can relate to this. But what if building something for your future was actually designed with your life in mind? So that's what we're going to be talking today. And for that, we're going to be talking about the following point.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about first, most people building something new are already busy, and two, small steps create options for the future.
So that's what we're going to be talking today. So let's dive into our first point.
Okay, so um, most people building something new are already busy. And I think we all agree with that. We're always busy, right? One of the biggest myths is I used to believe was that all, or I will start when I have time, right? Because I was always busy. I was always overwhelmed. I was always running. And in my mind, I was like, when I have time, you know, when I have more time, I can do something else. But the truth is, most people who are building something new don't have extra time. They are already busy too, just as we are. Busy with work, busy with responsibilities, busy taking care of their families. And I know that firsthand because, that was me. That's what my routine used to feel like. Managing my responsibilities, being present for my children, showing up every day with everything that life requires. There was no perfect window, no extra hours waiting for me, excuse me, waiting for me at the end of the day. But there was something else, a desire for something different. I really had a desire for something different. I didn't want to keep going with the same thing, that I had been going for years, that repetitive cycle. So I had the desire, but I also had the excuse that I didn't have more time. So, a desire to create a life where I could have more flexibility, more presence, more alignment with what truly mattered to me. And that's when my perspective shifted. I stopped asking, do I have time? And started asking, how can I create time for what matters? Because if you think about it, we have time. It's just a matter of putting our priorities on top of our list. Because the reality is, many people building something online today are doing it in the middle of a full life already. It's not that everything stopped and their schedule is perfect. No, they're making it happen with a with the schedule, with something in mind, with the plan. And there's the fact that this report shows that nearly 40% of side business owners are parents, and many are also working full-time jobs. And that was me. I started with my full-time job, with my responsibilities as a mother, and all the things that I had to do in my house. So they're not waiting for free time. You can't, because it's never going to come, right? What they're doing, they're choosing to use their time differently. And for me, it started small. A little time in the mornings, before I went into work, I was already doing my posting, replying to messages. A little time during lunch, I had again time to do my business, to maybe do some of the training because I had a half hour for lunch. And moments in between responsibilities. If I took my kids to practice while they were in the field doing their practice, I was doing some of my training as well. So it wasn't perfect, but it was intentional. And those small pockets of time became progress, because busy people don't wait for time, they create it with purpose, with clarity, and with the vision for something more. So if you've been telling yourself, I'm too busy to start, maybe that's not the real reason. Maybe the real question is this important enough for me to make space for it? And, you know, when something truly matters to you, we don't have to find time. We're going to create the time. We're going to make it happen. And we're going to, whatever is it that you used to do or that you're doing now that is not really productive, you're going to stop doing those things, and you're going to make whatever is important to you happen. You're going to make the time, and you're going to be proud of yourself at the end of the week when you see that you're slowly moving forward with the things that really matter to you. Okay? So that's what I had for this point.
Thank you, Isabel. So before we go into, we do have some comments here from Legudore. So he said yes to what Isabel was sharing. And also we have Axel Legrand. So thank you, Axel, also for your comment and for watching. And we have another one from Bisimana Fabienne. He say hello. Hello, Bisimana Fabienne. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comment. And Isabel also added, you don't need more free time to start. You need a clear reason that makes you use your time differently. So there you go. So yeah, so Isabel just talked about most people building something new are already busy. And, it's not, we always think, like Isabel was mentioned, that we need a lot of time to do something. But in reality, um, the point here is, like busy people actually make time for it. Why? Well, because they know that this is a priority for them because it's going to change their lives, so they make time for it. So even though, like they're so busy, they fit it, into their few pockets of their time during their day life, and they're able to do it. So there is time. It's a matter of you prioritizing what is important to you and what is not important, that is not going to move you forward. Okay, so let's move on to the second point. So the second point is small steps create options for the future. So, there was a time when my schedule felt full, but my vision felt unfinished. So, working long hours in the film industry, helping productions run smoothly, managing deadlines, solving problems. I was productive, but I wasn't building options. And that's the difference. Being busy doesn't always mean you're building something for the future. So when I started my online journey, I didn't suddenly have endless free time. I didn't quit everything overnight. I didn't flip a switch. I started small. So 30 minutes there, one focus hour here, learning one skill at a time, posting even when I felt uncomfortable, and plugging into community calls consistently. That was very important for me. And at the time, those efforts felt almost invisible, because that's we want to see results really fast, but that's not how it happens. So many times, we don't see anything. But in reality, you're building something, but from the inside. But that's not what we're seeing here. But they were seeds. All these things, there were seeds that you were planting at the beginning. So according to some research from the University of London, shows that small, consistent habits, when repeated daily, create significant long term change. So the power isn't in intensity, it's in repetition. And that's what many professionals, parents, and caregivers underestimate, because they think if I can do a lot, it's not worth it doing. But that's not the truth, like Isabel mentioned on the previous point. That belief keeps them stuck. So small steps compound, even if it's like we mentioned, like a 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there, if you add those 30 minutes, it becomes like, let's say you do 30 minutes two times during the day. That's 1 hour, so that compound into 1 hour. So if you add that to the long term, you will see that you're moving forward, like Isabel was mentioned on the previous point. So one skill learned becomes confidence, one conversation becomes connection, and one system implemented becomes efficiency. And 1 month of consistency becomes that momentum. And momentum creates the options. So for me, those small steps began creating something bigger. More flexibility in my schedule, more clarity in my direction, more stability beyond one single source of income, and more time with my parents. Not someday, but now. So now I enjoy here, I do my business at home, but at the same time, I spend time with my parents. So for parents and caregivers, this isn't just about building something extra, it's about building breathing room. So breathing room to attend a school event without panic. Many parents, many parents, miss those school events because they can ask for permission at work, you know? So another example is take care of family without financial fear. That's a good one, right? You're able to build your business from home, take care of your family, and at the same time building that financial stability. So travel without asking permission. That's another one. Many times, for example, me, while I was working on production, forget about traveling. I was stuck there until it finished. So, and many people who are the 9 to 5 at the same time, you cannot take like, many times, we are Latinos, right? So we have like the winter time is usually our summertime, so we want to go back home. But many of the companies, that's a blackout. So you're not able to take vacations during that time. So that that really doesn't give you that flexibility. Another example is learn without sacrificing everything else. So that's another one, being able to allocate time, being able to create the life that you want will allow you to do that. So small steps today create choices for tomorrow. And options are powerful because when you have options, you don't operate from desperation, you operate from intention. And what that is, you choose, you decide, and you design. So here's the message for you guys: don't underestimate the power of small, consistent actions because you don't need 5 free hours. You need focus minutes. Even if it's like we mentioned, like 30 minutes, that's what important. If you focus those 30 minutes to something that is moving you forward, that's the important thing. So you don't need to change your entire life this month. You just need to start shifting it. So 30 minutes a day, one focus hour, a few intentional steps. And those small efforts may feel quiet now, but they are building the freedom, the flexibility, and the options for you in the future. So an option changes everything. So if you keep going the same way without making any changes, you will remain the same way. But if you start making those small changes, your life will be different in the future. So that's what I want to end with that. So now let's see what is our key takeaway for that.
Our key takeaway for today is if you've been feeling like your life is too busy to start something new, maybe it's not a limitation. Maybe it's the reason. Because the people with the most responsibilities are often the ones who benefit the most from building something different. You don't need to be perfect or you don't need perfect conditions. You just need a starting point.
Yeah, so that's our key takeaway for today. And we have arrived to the end of our life. So we hope so that you learned something today about, feel, about, saying, we don't have time, and busy people, they make time for it. Why? Because they know that they have a priority of changing their lives. So they make sure that even if it's small pockets of time, those small pockets of time are focused time that are moving them forward and are creating that momentum to be able to change that future. So if you want to add something to it, please let us know and put it in the comments. We'll be happy to read your comments. And if you want to learn more about this awesome opportunity, well, you can just register into our website that appears on the screen. We'll send you the free webinar. We have twice a week. And or you can send us a private message or put in the comments more info and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thursday for those on Thursday, and happy and blessed Friday for those on Friday, and a happy and blessed weekend ahead for everyone. So thank you again for being here with us today, and we'll see you again until the next episode of the
Latin Voices. Bye, guys. Thank you for watching us.
Yeah, God bless you.